true as well. Edinburgh Fringe next year. Me, baby. Fucking looking forward to it. I have just looked down and realised that I'm still wearing these fucking slippers. For anybody that can't see them, these are the shittest fucking shoes in the world. These are genuine Christian Louboutins, red sole, whole 9 yards. My wife bought them for me, and I wear them when I'm driving to avoid ever having to wear them in public. And I was a wee bit nervous about going up here. I forgot to take them off. They are shit. And we're going to just address something before I carry on with the actual comedy. The old fucker over there that keeps shouting out is my father-in-law. I think the fucking irony of him going off about perverts is that he bought that perfume for my daughter. So when we get back to the household, fella, get in your car, fuck off. Fucking gobshite. So my nickname is Irish. I think all of you guys figured out really quickly Irish is not his real name. I recently was at work. I moved to a new job. When you do that, you sit down with your boss, get to know each other. And I was like, sort of 5 minutes in, looking at this guy, going, "This guy's a fucking idiot." I have to call this guy sir. I'm in the Royal Navy. I've got to salute him. He's a moron. And he proved it right at the end. He was getting up to go to meet the captain, and he goes, "Irish, if you don't mind my saying, that's a pretty weird name for an Irishman to have." This fucker thinks that's my real name. And you know what it's like? Sometimes you get a wee bit devious. I was like, "Well, sir, what happened was, my mum bought the book, Irish Baby Names, 8 months pregnant, my dad wants a beer." She's like, "Nope, you're not having a beer till we fucking name this baby." He just stands up, goes, "Irish, baby name, job done." Has his beer. He fucking believed that story. He went straight to the meeting with the captain, told the captain that story, and the captain went, "His name's Michael, I met him yesterday, you can't be this fucking naive." Then he did the weirdest thing. He come down angry. I was like, "Fucking hell, that didn't last long." And he just looks at me and he goes, "Karma is coming for you, my friend." It's like, I don't believe in karma. Fuck this. I'd gotten away with this. Unfortunately, karma came for me in the form of my 10-year-old daughter. And I put this kid in context. I once had to go to the school, have a chat with the parent-teacher thing. And I walked in and said, "Mr. McMahon, I'm here for Saoirse." Saoirse. Because I opened the fucking book. "I'm here for Saoirse." And they go, "Oh, you T3's dad?" I was like, "I'm sorry? T3's our nickname." And the teacher then looks really embarrassed, like, "Oh, fuck, we weren't supposed to say that to you." And it turns out they were doing one of those class assemblies, and there's like 100 and 200 kids, and you have to do a little play or a little poem. Well, who was 5 years old at the time, 5 years old is very important, did an impression of her drunk dad, and in a very broad. Now, this kid has never been to Northern Ireland. She is a blonde English kid, and she looked at the collective audience and went, "Your ma's your dad. Your dad's your dog. Your dog's fucking dead." T3 stands for teeny tiny terrorist. So this is the kid we're talking about. I picked her up from school last Friday, and as we're walking down the road, she goes, "It's my favourite lamppost right there." What? And I looked around and somebody had drawn a big comedy cock on him. That was her favourite. So she is, however, a very funny kid. So of the 3 kids I have, she is my favourite. You are allowed to do that. I'm a favourite person in this room. Whew, they are massive. So that's the crack. This is the kid we're talking about. She's 10 years old. She comes into me and she says, "Dad, TikTok. I want the TikTok." And I was like, her mum was out. Her mum doesn't want her to have the TikTok. And I was like, how bad could this possibly be? This is on the same night that I'm being told karma's coming for me. So I gave her the TikTok. How do you tell I'm in my 40s? I downloaded the app. I gave her the app. And within 5 minutes, she's watching these little videos. She walks up to me and she goes, "Hey, Dad, high five." I go to high five her, slips the high five, punches me straight in the balls. All the men in here know what that's like. A good ball shot, you immediately can't fucking breathe. You just roll over onto the floor, which I did, straight into the fetal position. And because I was sat cross-legged at the time, it was like a ball sandwich. Like one ball and the other ball, straight into the fucking chair, down I go. Crawl to the toilet, And every bloke in here knows you want them to touch nothing. You don't even sit proper, you sit wide-legged. You're like, let's just let them fucking dangle. Every now and again, all that you just do, you reach down, you just want to check they're still fucking there. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're good. 20 minutes of this, then I get up. Like, fuck, I can go it, I can do it. And I'm walking down toward the living room, and then I hear, hey mum, high five. I tried to run, it was too soon, I was doing this, I was getting nowhere, it was fucking bad, it was bad, but I get into the living room, and that's when I found out that hurts women too. Because my wife is on the floor, clutching on, because she got her right in the mummy daddy button. So, but there is a difference though, you can't just punch it fine and think you're getting away with it. It's not a squishy set of old man balls, is it? So 15 minutes later, we're at Cross Sports Walmore, and I'm looking at a nurse with 3 other nurses flanking her. And I'm like, she's hurt her wrist. And the nurse went, how? And in my head I was like, she fell off her bike, she fell off her bike. But out loud, in front of a room full of people, I said, she punched her mum in the thigh. And the nurse looked at me and went, TikTok? She then went on to explain it's like 3 or 4 of these occasions a week. And because I think I'm funny, I once again out loud went, it's a pandemic. You laughed, they didn't. They just, like, 3 women just looking at me like, you are a piece of shit. And it was like PTSD, fucking PTSD, because when my 3rd child was born, first 2 were painful and shit happened. The 3rd one, a bit like a slip and slide, just came right out. And I sort of remarked, because I'd been there twice before, it's always about the fucking mother, innit? And the nurse looked at me and went, your wife has just had a baby. The blokes are going to remember this, the women are immediately going to hate me. And my response to that, again, because I think I'm funny, I went, yeah, but if you had a really nice meal at a restaurant, you wouldn't thank the oven. And one of the nurses, because there was a bit of tearing, she was under a little privacy blanket doing bits and pieces, I forgot she was there, just poked her head out, and she looked at my wife and she went, when I'm finished with these lips, do you want me to do his? Swear to God, I just like, yeah, I'll just fucking sit down. Yeah, I tried to pretend like I wasn't there. It's insane. But so that was the PTSD. My wife was now feeling uncomfortable in the Gosport War Memorial. So she goes in with my daughter. They come out. Daughter's fine, just a little sprain. And the wife just sort of pulls you, said, I've got some bad news for you. No sex for 3 months. I was fucking furious. Now, not about the no sex thing. I'm in the Navy. I've not had sex for 3 months. My ego couldn't take it. I've been fucking that thing for 15 years, not so much as a bruise. This is insane to me. You know what it was? I always like to look at a woman and make this really awkward. You know what she had? Deep clitoral tissue damage. Honestly, going at that thing like an angry woodpecker. That was the day I found out I had less punching power than a 10-year-old girl. Blew my mind. I'll leave you with this. I was recently over in Northern Ireland, and the Belfast boy, the kneecap and shit, that's my brother over there. I was over visiting him, so I drove over to his house. And as I stepped through the door, I took a phone call from a fellow naval officer. Now, everyone in this room that's from out of town, Geordie, Jeff, me, you've got an accent, you phone home, that shit comes on dead thick. So whenever I talk to him on the phone, you can't hardly understand anything we're fucking saying, all that kind of shit stuff, that happens. And I stepped through the door, but I never really thought about it the other way around. So I get a phone call from an officer mate. So I start talking like a British naval officer in front of my very Irish Belfast brother. And I ended the call, and I said, it's a bit of a nefarious sort of conversation that we're having here. We'll have a little chat about it on Monday. Glorious, I'll see you then. That's all bye bye. And I turn around to be faced by him looking like a fucking terrorist, just looking at me going, when did I get a posh prick for a fucking brother? And I was like, I'm not a posh prick, I'm still fine, I'm still a council estate guy. And my wife threw me under the bus, probably because, all the funny shit I say. She just went, ask him what he had for breakfast. I was like, oh, fuck. And he's like, what'd you have for breakfast? I was like, I had poached egg. with some smashed avocado. And then she goes, I was like, fucking hell. I had some shavings of smoked salmon on it. And he just looked at me and he just went, "What a cunt." And fucking walked out the room. My dad was also in the room. He didn't say anything. He just stood up and followed him. And I fucking sat down. I was like, oh my God, I'm that. I haven't changed. It hasn't changed me. And I sat down, I put my head between my knees, and all I could see were these fucking shoes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ivan Irish. Thanks very much.